Hello everyone. About a month ago, someone very close to me was violently and forcibly sexually assaulted. And she just froze. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to respond. And when you're being assaulted by someone who is 3 times your size, probably 3 times your, literally 3 times your size, 3 times your strength, I think a lot of people would freeze. So I'm going to come to you with some very practical self-defense applications that we've learned. As my sensei said, his name is Hanshi. He's the leader of the karate system that I study. If you find yourself in a fair fight, your tactics suck. So I got to tell you, when you're in a fight or when you're being assaulted by somebody who is 3 times your size, there's no such thing as a fair fight. Everything has to come off. The gloves have to come off, and you have to defend yourself violently. All right. So let me show you a few tricks. If you can reach their ear with your middle finger, you can get a thumb in their eye. This is Bob. Bob is the only person on the face of the planet who I'm pretty sure doesn't have this virus, so that's why we're training with Bob. So if you can touch their ear with your middle finger, you can get a thumb in their eye. And no attacker sees that coming. So the first thing to do is jab their eye. The Adam's apple or trachea is a very, very sensitive part, and it doesn't take much to make somebody go down from that. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're being attacked, go for the eyes first, go for the trachea. And then, just for good measure, kick them in the groin. All right? So, how quickly does all this have to happen? It's got to be instant. So, boom, 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 like that, and then you're gone. And then, as I'm explaining this to the victim of the sexual assault, she said, well, then I'll just keep kicking him. It's like, no, once he's down, you get out. You leave, you get out. So, again, eyes, throat, and the throat can either be with what we call a spear hand, just like that, or it can be a karate chop, or it can be a punch. Okay? Eyes, throat, crouch. All right. Now, what if he has you in close? What if you're in really close with this guy? He's got his arms wrapped around you. Well, these little weapons here are incredibly effective against an attacker. So what you would do then, he's got you in close, you knee him in the crotch, that's going to loosen him up, then you hit him with your elbow, 1, 2, and then just for good measure, a fist right to the throat as you're coming back. So what would that look like? Like that. Show no mercy. Okay? Once again, knee, elbow, elbow, and then when you're coming back, boom, to the throat. And feel free to make those sounds. It might draw attention. That's going to get the creep away from you. All right. If any of you have questions, feel free to call me, text me, get in touch with me. There's people a lot more talented than me doing this. These are just some very, very rudimentary, simple tools that you can use to fend off an attacker, maybe even save your life. Again, eyes, throat, groin. If you have the space, if they got you in tight and they're holding on to you, knee them. Okay. All right. So I hope you never have to use that ever, because it's going to wreck a lot of lives. By the way, this throat thing is potentially fatal, lethal for somebody. So if you use that, make sure your life's in danger, and you can prove it in court, because you're probably going to have to prove it. All right. So thank you. Namaste.